What's up, ProGuides family? How are you doing today? I'm Renox, and I'd like to welcome you back to another video. And you're lucky, because today's subject is going to be a big one. That's right, today we're going to be discussing the top 5 community maps that you can use to help improve your Counter-Strike skills, so that you can rise up in the ranks without a hassle. But before we fill you in with all the best maps that you should be using though, first it's time, of course, for our question of the day. And the most fitting question to a subject like this can only be, what is your favorite community map? Oh, and it doesn't have to be a practice map either. So if you're one of those people that likes to play maps outside of the standard competitive map pool, make sure to let us know what you enjoy playing on. I'm really looking forward to the comments on this one. I might be able to find some great new maps. Alright, now that that's done, let's start talking about the top 5 maps in order to become the best you can be. Starting off with our number 5 pick, Recoil Master. Recoil Master by UL Electrical is undoubtedly the greatest map to practice your recoil control on. It offers a lot of great features such as the ghost hair, which will show you the pattern of the gun you're using in real time while you're spraying. But it also has options for customizable distance and even options for moving targets. There's quite a bit you can customize on there, but that's not what makes it great. The reason this map is so amazing and made it to the top 5 spot of this list is that it will make learning recoil control and spray patterns so darn easy. Anyone who is willing to spend 5 to 10 minutes every day practicing their recoil with their favorite guns will get great spray control within a very foreseeable time. Because of that, we here at ProGuides cannot recommend adding this map to your regular practice and warm-up routine enough. With this map, there's honestly no excuse to not knowing your spray patterns for all the most common guns anymore. To make best use of this map, we would recommend the following practice routine. Spraying with the AK-47 close range for 3 minutes, as well as 2 minutes on a longer range, preferably on a target with the ghost hair setting on. Then doing the exact same with the M4 of your choice, then the same thing again, just a bit shorter for the other M4, so in case your teammate drops you the wrong one, now you'll still be able to use it. Next, you'll want to grab your favorite SMG and do 2 minutes of close range sprays, and lastly, just do a short practice for the FAMAS and Galil as well. Of course, if you like using the AUG and or SG553, you'll have to practice those too, but that's only if you use them or feel like doing so. If you're able to do this practice somewhat consistently, we're sure you'll be able to spray down any enemies you come across. Just remember that it's better spending 20 minutes each day practicing than it is to not practice for weeks and then do one practice for 14 hours without a break. For our number 4 pick, we've decided on training_aim_CSGO 2. This map is probably the best map if you want to practice flicking specifically, but because it's highly customizable, it has many more uses. On this map, you'll have the choice of all the weapons in the game, just like Recoil Master. But here, the goal is something completely different. On the left wall, you'll find the settings menu. On here, there's a bunch of different options which could be a bit intimidating, of course, but we recommend playing around with them. The most standard uses of the map, and the ones we'll go over, are the default classic, fast aiming mode, and intensive fast aiming. Both of these modes are great to practice your flicks on. On the first one, a red dot, customizable in size, and time shown will pop up and you'll have to flick to it and shoot it before it goes. On the second, intensive fast aiming mode dots will spawn at a set interval, and you lose once there's too many dots on screen. The concept is really quite simple, but using the map in the most effective way possible is a story of its own. A lot of players will try to shoot the dot as fast as they possibly can, sacrificing accuracy or just spraying or bursting away. Sure, this might give you the highest score and you can brag to your friends about it, but it won't make you improve, or at least not as fast as if you were to use the map properly. So how do you use it properly? Well, actually, that's rather simple. All you have to do is sacrifice a bit of your speed and focus on accuracy first and foremost. Only go for one tap so you're truly training your aim, while also making the dots smaller and smaller. Sure, this might feel tedious and annoying as you'll be missing a lot more shots, but at the same time, it will force you to shoot accurately instead of just fast, and that's exactly what you want. Personally, when I first used this map, I had a lot of trouble controlling myself because I'd always go for short bursts or even full-on sprays, even though I knew I had to try and get one taps. The only way I found to fix that though was just by, instead of using an AK or M4, using a pistol like the USP or Deagle. In order to get the most out of this map, we'd advise playing both classic and intensive fast aiming, both for 5 to 10 minutes each day, and on there really focusing on your accuracy, not speed. If you find it too easy, always lower the target size first, then time to react if you're at the smallest target. This way, slowly but surely, your flicks will get faster while also being reliable. Because, of course, you want to be able to hit your shots consistently rather than hitting one really fast shot of your life every other game. Next up on the list, and the map that got our number 3 spot, we have the YPRAC practice maps. The YPRAC practice maps by Jesper are a series of practice maps for every map in the competitive pool of Counter-Strike. Jesper made a separate practice map for each of them, and honestly, they are just so great. On them, you have tons of practice options. You can quite literally practice anything on there except for maybe raw aim and movement skills. You have a mode where you can practice peeking all kinds of different angles on each map, a mode where you can practice your pre-fires and entry routes, a mode where you can practice all the smokes, molotovs, and flashes you might need, and even a mode where bots will run at you while you try to hold a choke point of your choice. The YPRAC practice maps honestly have loads to offer, and we can't recommend them enough. Make sure to check out the versions of them at least for your favorite maps. To tell you the truth, you could spend hours on it and still not see all the content it has to offer. So, when it comes to playing the YPRAC maps, make sure to do so as often as you see fit. I can guarantee you, every time you jump in for a bit, you're going to learn a whole lot of new stuff. Whether that's new nades, new angles, or how to hold a choke point or a sight. If it comes to our recommendations, we'd say spend as much time as you have or want to on these maps, but make sure to split your time over at least your most played maps. Sure, it's great if you know the ins and outs of Mirage, but as soon as you play Inferno, that won't be as useful, and you'd wish that you had spent at least a bit of time practicing that instead. Overall, the YPRAC map series is just amazing and has loads to offer. It will be essential in helping you improve in all areas of the game except for maybe raw aim. For our number 2 spot on this list, taking the silver medal, that will be the fast aim/reflex map. In this map, you'll be spawned in the middle surrounded by bots running towards you with some obstacles here and there. This map is great if you don't want your conventional stationary bots. This map tries to bridge the gap between maps like Aim_bots and Deathmatch. So stationary bots feel a bit boring and unchallenging for you, but Deathmatch is a bit too random, stressful, and there's not enough targets. This map is perfect for you. Fast aim/reflex map is a great map if you want to improve your tracking or your ability to kill moving targets. The bot's movement is by no means 100% realistic, but it's the closest thing to it, and for that, it gets a lot of praise, and rightfully so. Like the other maps, this map also comes with quite a bit of customization, but honestly, I doubt you'll be using it all too much. From personal experience, I only ever really enable or disable headshot only mode when I want to force myself to not spray, for example, or change the armor setting if I want to practice my USP shots. I doubt you'll need to change many more settings, but of course, you're free to do so if you so please. For our recommendation, we'd say use this map during your practice routine and practice spraying as well as short bursts with the AK and M4 of your choice for about 5 minutes each. Afterwards, grab a USP, remove head armor, and practice your pistol for another 5 minutes or so. And lastly, play 5 minutes of whatever you like. If you're weak or feel uncomfortable with your pistol, maybe try that. If you just want to go for some 1-digs, try that instead. Just do what you want to do for at least 5 minutes and then you're done. This routine, of course, does take a bit of time, about 30 minutes, but if you have that available, doing it regularly will show big results, especially initially. For our number 1 pick and the best and probably most popular map on our list, we have the one and only Aim_bots. Aim_bots is like Recoil Master, another great map by UL Electrical. And like it, its beauty is in its simplicity and ease of use, while also allowing more advanced practice to take place if you're aware of the controls. So how does it work? Pretty simple. Aim_bots is a map where you, just like fast aim/reflex map, will be surrounded by bots. The biggest difference though is the bots are standing still with default settings. If you look up, you can choose which lanes and at what range you'd like the bots to spawn in. Most pros and most users prefer just having one lane and making the range 1 or 2 settings shorter. Once you have these or your own preferred settings, you can decide how you want to practice your aim. Because of Aim_bots' simplicity, the options are as endless as your own imagination and thus will be the best all-around map to warm up with as well. Usually what I do personally is first I start off with the default settings, so bots spawning on all sides and beginning my warm-up with my counter strafes. I'll try to go for at least 50 kills by firstly running and then quickly counter strafing and 1-digging all my bot opponents. After I get the 50 kills, my counter strafes feel natural and I move on to my AK sprays. I'll put up 3 walls and remove 2 distances. Then I go for 100 kills while spraying the AK. Afterwards, I use the same settings and go for 100 burst kills and lastly 100 1-taps. Then I move on to my M4 and I do the exact same routine as I did for my AK. Obviously, you can't 1-tap with M4s though, so instead I try to double headshot or headshot and then body shot my opponents. Once that's done as well, I go for taps with the USP, and for that I disable head armor. Again, 100 kills of course. And lastly, I no-clip towards the bots and go back to 1-digging bots again with fast counter strafes while simultaneously tracking the bots. After all this, I usually feel pretty warm and ready to destroy in a real game. Lastly, I want to quickly mention, although aim_bots is likely the best for warming up, it's also highly usable for practicing tons of mechanical skills. So make sure to play around and see what works for you on there as well, because there's a lot of settings that we definitely didn't go over. Well guys, I'm sorry, but that's going to have to be all for today. If you enjoyed this video and are eager to try these maps, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and maybe even consider hitting that notification bell. While you're at it, don't forget to check out ProGuides.com as well. We've got some great coaching on there, and I'm sure they can help you use all of these maps to their fullest potential in order to help you become the best player that you can be. But that's not all. We've also got the original Simple Master course on there. So if you in any way look up to him, make sure to check out the course. With all that though, I wish you a great rest of your day and best of luck in improving.